So if anybody's can see this, and I think Tammy, you're there. I can't hear you guys. You can see and hear me. This is just one way to do something like this. Instead of broadcasting it live, oops, 2 people want to join. Instead of broadcasting it live on the Facebook page, which is completely public, this provides a little bit more privacy. However, you guys can't really, how you're going to communicate with me, I'll tell you in just a minute. But there's other ways to do focus groups too, and I'll also tell you why they're important. But the other ways to do focus groups are, through webinars and everything, and actually we are going to be doing that too. That also allows the viewer or the participant to actually be a little bit more actively involved than the way that it is here. And there'll probably be a couple of different platforms that we use. Zoom is one of them, and then also Webinar Jam, and that will probably start in January with different webinars that we're doing, and then also to use the focus groups as a way to hear back from the community, which is incredibly important to me, so that I know what I'm doing, pretty much. So I am going to just see if I can refresh this so I can actually see the page myself and make sure. I'm going to tell you guys how this will work, but then if I see the page, and I can see what you guys are saying, I can see the whole feed, and if what you guys can do is comment below the feed, and then I can read it, and I'll ask questions, then you guys comment, and then we'll just use the discussion like that. So hopefully people will see that. I was just making sure there was nobody new that wanted to join, and let's see if I can get it to refresh. All right, so I can see myself. Okay, good. Kind of. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce myself, introduce what this is and why we're doing it this way, and then you guys will be able to comment below in the feed. Now it says the feed is interrupted, so we'll just give it a minute. If there's any problems, you can also click below the feed, and hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm actually not going to turn up my volume. Not really. All right, so first things first. I am Kendra Nielsen-Miles. I am the founder and executive director of EDS Wellness. So for everybody who is here or who will be here, thank you for joining us. I think this should only be maybe max half hour. This is my way that we're going to do a couple of things. One is focus groups, as I told you, on a couple different platforms. Some of them will allow for more engagement from you guys as participants through webinar formats. This is another way to do it where people can probably more easily access it. But then there's some that aren't on Facebook, so that's other my concerns. There's a number of people that I communicate with that don't access Facebook, and they're not always on Facebook. So my goal for everything for EDS Wellness is to be virtual and to be as easily accessible as possible, but also to hear back from you all and get feedback on what we're doing. And then give you all a platform to give me feedback, but also maybe ask questions that we wouldn't necessarily normally ask. The focus groups are one thing. That's for me to be able to get, let me make sure that you guys still have this, to make sure that I can hear about how we're doing and ideas from you all and what you need. And then also the monthly Q&A that I started on the last day of every month is just a way that I'll just sit here and we'll just ask questions and just have our open discussion. This month, because of the holidays, I combined it, and then yesterday I had a really, really terrible reaction to some medication that I'm still dealing with. So if somebody wouldn't mind letting me know, it looks like the video was interrupted. I can't tell if it's still interrupted or if I lost you guys. I guess I can look on the other end. But that's pretty much the gist of what a focus group is. I'm going to ask specific questions, especially if I know that you